Recently I typed into Google cleaning after a parent dies, and over 3 million articles came up. As the baby boomer generation is growing, more and more people are finding themselves in a position to have to clean up homes after their parents have passed or their grandparents have passed. And this is a real thing, and it's a very overwhelming task. So what I want to do today is give some of my perspectives from a cleaning company and from a cleaner of how would I handle such a situation should it arise. Okay, first thing I want to say is if you're watching this video, I suspect you're coming to this video at not a really good time in your life. You've had some tragedy, and I'm deeply sorry for what you're going through. If you are the trustee on a will, or you're the child trying to figure out how to clean up the mess, you're going through a couple things. You're going through the intense, raw emotion of losing a loved one, and you're also going over the overwhelming task of just this house that's full of stuff. And we know that stuff isn't just stuff. This was an old sign we have laying around our house. This sign doesn't mean a whole lot to you. It means ice cream. But in my house, there's a lot of symbolic meaning. My son gave me this sign because he knows I like ice cream a little too much. And this was one of his gifts to me. So could you imagine what it would be like one day if he was throwing away this sign, because it means so much more. And that's where you're at. So you've got this house full of these signs, and what they are is their memories. So what do? The first step when you walk into a home that's full of stuff, both good stuff and bad stuff, is figure out what things you want to keep and go ahead and get those out. But for the most part, I would love for you to just let someone else clean out all the other things and just haul it away. I found this group on Craigslist. Take a look. Yeah, these guys did a great job. It was an easy find on Craigslist. It wasn't too expensive. They came in, they got all the items out of this particular house that we were cleaning. It wasn't a deceased home. But they got all the items out, hauled it away, and I didn't have to worry about it. That might be wise for you to do. Now, let's say you don't have the money to do that. You can rent a trailer or a U-Haul, something like that. My experience has been is that if you rent a box truck, you're usually looking at about a $50 charge by the time you put gas back in the truck, whatever your fees are. Plus, you've got to pay to dump the stuff or the junk, whatever it is. I know a lot of you want to bring some good out of the situation, so you say, I'm going to take all this stuff and I'm going to haul it to a thrift store. It sounds so good ideally, and that might be the right thing to do, but I want you to remember that a lot of thrift stores will not take all of that stuff. You know, they want to take what they can sell, and there might be a couple things they won't. There might be a couch, but they don't want all the other items. And I would hate for you to get in a position where you're taking stuff there and they're parceling through what they want and what they don't. I absolutely believe in thrift stores. I used to work for one. and they desperately need your donations, but I want you to be aware that if you take your stuff there, they may not want everything you can give them. So just be aware of that. Okay. Now, I want to talk about cleaning the house from the perspective of, what if your loved one is in an apartment or a rental home, they have a landlord? How do you deal with that? Of course, that's kind of my forte, because a lot of my customers are property managers. The first thing you want to do is contact that landlord or property manager and see if there's a deposit on file. If there's a deposit on file, you may could just use that money to pay for the cleanup. And also, that landlord's generally a really good source of information for who's a good junk removal company, who's a good cleaner, who's a good painter, carpet installation, or carpet cleaner. If there is a deposit, great. If there's not a deposit, we need to figure out what are you required to do to get the house back into move-in condition. It's the same steps as turning a rental house. Number one, you do the junk removal. Number two, you're going to do any maintenance or repairs that need to be done, painting the walls, repairing holes that might be in the wall. After you're done painting and maintenance, then you're going to... Okay guys, thanks for joining us for this week on How Do I Clean. This is a deep one, and I just want to say I'm sorry to you, because I can imagine what you must be going through. We do have other videos that are happier, and if you're interested in learning more about the cleaning business or learning tricks of the trade of how to clean your own home, please subscribe to our channel or like our page. Again, if you're going through a tragedy, I'm sorry for what you're going through. Just get started. Take the first step. We'll see you next time on How Do I Clean.